Diagrams are an essential part of a software architect's toolkit. They help to visualize and communicate the high level structure and design of a software system. In the field of software development, we often put too much focus on the coding part, and that's fine. But if you have to tell somebody how the system is going to work, would you start by typing the code? Certainly not. You will actually take a pen and paper and will draw something on it, or either you will use a whiteboard to draw it. And that something could be those diagrams that help you to communicate your intent more effectively to other stakeholders, technical or non technical, both. We can say diagrams provide a clear, concise, and visual representation of the design and structure of a software system, making it easier to communicate, analyze, and optimize. If software architecture is about the structure of a software system, it's worth understanding what the major building blocks are and how they fit together at different levels of abstraction. With this idea in mind, Simon Brown, author of the book Software Architecture for Developers, developed a software architecture modeling approach, which he referred as C4 model, a model to present simple and consistent way to present a high level view of the software system and its key component. So a C4 model in the words of Simon Brown is a set of hierarchical abstractions: software systems, containers, components, and code, or classes, we can say, and a set of hierarchical diagrams: system context, containers, components, and code. And the C4 model is notation independent. It does not prescribe you any particular notation. You can use whatever notation you want to highlight your diagrams. The C4 model, designed by Simon Brown, consists of a set of hierarchical diagrams that provide an overview of the software system at different levels of abstraction. The four levels of C4 model are context diagram, container diagram, component diagram, and code or classes diagram. The context diagram is the highest level diagram in the C4 model, which shows the system in the context of its environment and its stakeholders. Then we have the container diagram, which shows the high level architecture of the system, including the different containers that make up the system and the dependencies between them. Inside the containers, we have the component diagrams, which shows the components within each container and how they interact with each other. And then finally, we have the class diagram or the code diagram, whatever you can call it. This is the lowest level diagram in the C4 model, which shows the code level details of the system. That includes the classes and methods within each component. And this is how these diagrams look like in the larger view of a system. Simon Brown has mentioned in his website as well that the C4 model is an abstraction first approach to diagramming software architecture based upon abstractions that reflect how software architects and developers think about and build software. The small set of abstractions and diagram makes the C4 model easy to learn and use. And then he said that you don't need to use all the four levels of the diagram. You can use only those that add value. Like the system context and the container diagrams are sometimes sufficient for many software development teams or projects. So the different levels of Zoom allow you to tell different stories to different audiences. C4 model provides a simple and consistent way to communicate the architecture of a software system to different stakeholders. Those stakeholders could be developers, managers, or clients. It allows for a clear separation of concerns between different levels of abstraction, making it easier to understand and maintain the system over time. We will dig into more details about these diagrams and will try to start learning visualizing the system with the help of these blocks in the coming discussions.